Well then everybody, we are about to go racing here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here for the Talk Titans Racing League Tier 3 here tonight, round 9 of this 13 round season, as we've got Shane here on pole position, having taken pole by a long way in the qualifying session. 0.6 of a second his gap over Ocean Blade. Clen lining up in third place, doing a good job once again with Joe Louis P4, Blazer Guns ahead of Salates. Then we've got Richie Chapper down in 7th place. I tell you what, his qualifying form has tailed off a little bit over the last few rounds. I don't know if it's everyone else improving or if it's just he's dropped the ball a bit, but he's nonetheless doing what he usually does. He's starting on the hard tyres to try and go along into the first stint. Wes in 8th ahead of Zainu with Jordan Hillier there in P10, and then the guys who weren't in Q3, who we haven't seen so far yet. Apex Joe, Jacko with Carl ahead of Dave, Mihai in 15th place ahead of Tesco Troller. Then you got CT Sori ahead of Abubakar, and then you got Berza Jr. and Andrew Pittsmith, the legend on my YouTube channel, the man who's been racing on F1 games on my YouTube channel for I think the last 5 iterations across about at least 6 different leagues. But anyway, here we are then. Lights are on ahead of the grid. We're about to go racing here for the Talk Titans Racing League Tier 3 here tonight. And it is lights out and we are underway as Shane here gets a good start from pole. Ocean Blade tucks in as we got Clen, who's coming under pressure here from Blazer Guns, looking around the outside there as they go through the first couple of corners there. And in fact, no, it's Joe Louis there moving ahead of Clen up into 3rd place. Blazer Guns there behind Clen for the time being. Looks as though Wes has got ahead of Richie Chapper up into 7th place. Obviously, he's got the better tyres. Richie's on the hard tyres. Jordan Hillier, though, is an absolute flyer on the hard tyres. He's up into 8th place so far. Zainu has moved ahead of back ahead of Apex Joe, although Apex Joe Zainu diving down the inside of Richie Chapper there going into turn 3. But Richie Chapper's still ahead of him for the time being. But looks like a very clean start for around Baku as far as Baku's concerned, although there does appear to be a couple of casualties. CT Sori and Berza seem to have run into each other here on this opening lap, so that's the only calamity so far. As far as Baku goes, I'd say it's a pretty clean first lap indeed. But Mihai looking to the inside of the Haas there of Apex Joe, but too far away there as they go into the corner before the castle section. I think we've got a VSC already here, so that didn't take long. But Shane currently still leading the race ahead of Ocean Blade. These guys have kicked a bit clear of Joe Louis, who's running in P3 at the moment. And then you've got Clen there down to 4th place, having been passed by Joe Louis going into turn 2. Blazer Guns there ahead of Salates, followed by Wes with Jordan Hillier, Richie Chapper and Zainu there completing the top 10 at the moment. Abubakar up into 11th place, a good opening first lap there from him. Jacko there in 12th, followed by Apex Joe, Mihai, Carl, and then you've got Dave down a couple of places down to 16th place. Andrew Pittsmith, forever the first lap performer here, has made it up into 17th place, up 3 places from where he started. CT Sori, Tesco Troller has dropped down as well here, so not sure what happened to Tesco, but clearly those trollers are not doing the job for him tonight. They can be pesky, those wheels, I tell you what, they can turn on you very quickly. But in the meantime, Ocean Blade to the inside there into turn 1, too far back there on Shane for the time being. There's Joe Louis, Clen and Blazer Guns in the background. Wes, Jordan and Richie running pretty close. There's a bit of debris there falling off one of the cars. It was in this trio here between Wes, Jordan and Richie. I'm not quite sure which one of them it was. Could have been Zainu, but there was definitely a bit of debris there coming off one of the cars, so there's been a bit of contact somewhere. But Blazer Guns has gone ahead of Clen up into 4th place. Shane has lost out to Ocean Blade. Ocean Blade is now the new race leader here on lap 2 of the race, so must use the DRS to get past there going into turn 3. So lots of action here in the opening couple of laps of the race. Tesco Trolley is out of the race here on lap 2, so what a disaster there. And Tesco will definitely be looking to revoke their sponsorship after this. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a name change to maybe to Audi Trolley for next week. But nonetheless, we see the rest of them here coming through the corner before the castle section. And Ocean Blade, oh my goodness, Ocean Blade has crashed out of the race. Oh my, wow. So just after taking the lead of the race, Ocean Blade has crashed through the castle section. It must have been surely, because everyone's overtaking him at the castle section, so it must have been the castle section. Oh no! It was the corner after the castle section where Ocean Blade has stacked it into the wall. So I think we might have a safety car here. It's at least a VSC as a minimum. Joe Louis got a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Abubakar has got a 10-second penalty for crashing with Jordan. So looking like the stewards are not holding back at the moment. Zainu also sporting a penalty at this early stage in the race. Now, I haven't seen any pit boards yet. I think it says VSC, so we haven't got a full safety car. It's just a standard VSC at the moment, and it looks like we're back underway once again. So that was pretty quick there from the Baku marshals, you've got to say. And we're back racing again. So Shane, Joe Louis and Blazer Guns here are the three leaders. They're kicked a bit clear from Glenn, who's running in 4th place. Then you've got Salates and Wes, Jordan and Zainu still battling there over 7th place, as Zainu's actually into the pits here. So it wasn't Zainu, it was Jordan on the back of Wes. But nonetheless, Zainu, Abubakar and Andrew Pittsmith all coming into the pits here at the end of lap 2. Shane is out the front with just under a second of a lead here over Joe Louis at the moment. There's Blazer Guns in the background there. You've got Clen and Salates battling over 4th and 5th places. Wes and Jordan there fighting out over P6 and 7. Jacko, Mihai and Apex Joe here currently in a train here batting over 8th, 9th and 10th places. Richie Chapper's dropped a few places here in the opening few laps. You know, I'd love to say it's because of the hard tyres, but Jordan Hillier's flying high in 7th place. Richie Chapper behind Apex Joe. So at the moment, Richie Chapper not doing the usual that we're used to from him. Silverstone, a couple of what was last week, I think it was. Richie qualified P5, I think ended up P3, P4, I can't remember. Might have actually been P5. But the early part of the season, it was Richie versus Shane. The two Williams drivers were the ones fighting it out every week, as we see Burrs has dropped a few places here, down to point 14. Oh, Jacko's absolutely plummeted down the leaderboard here. So Jacko's had a moment here on lap 3 of the race and has absolutely dropped to 15th place here. So disaster there for Jacko in the early stage of this one, as we go back to leaders here, because we've got Joe Louis dropped away a bit off of Shane. Blazer Guns though is looking to try and close up onto the back of the McLaren here with DRS. Obviously with Joe Louis not having DRS on Shane, it's going to help Blazer Guns to bring himself into the battle. And also Salates has got to have Clen up into 4th place, so Clen's going backwards a little bit here in these early laps of the race. Jordan looking on the back of Wes, just a bit too far away there going into turn 1. Is he going to go for a cutback here? No, that's not going to happen. The thing is, Wes has got DRS, which is helping him defend here from Jordan at this point, and Jordan not really in a position to do much at the moment. But a chaotic start here to this Azerbaijan Grand Prix here tonight for the Talk Titans Racing League of Tier 3. Round 9 of this 13-round season here for Season 3. Top 3 currently spread out a little bit, but they're pulling away from Salates, who's got Clen, Wes, Jordan in close contention at the moment. But Clen could be at threat of losing more positions here. Jordan's in a good position on the hard tyres. Certainly with a good chance of a top 5 spot here tonight, maybe more. But Jordan's one of those drivers, if he didn't have bad luck, he would have no luck. So hopefully tonight we can be seeing neither of those. So here we come then, out onto the start finish straight once again. It's going to be Jordan here putting the pressure on the back of Wes. Is Wes going to have DRS on Clen? I don't think he is. I think he was outside the detection point, so Jordan's going to get a free crack at this and should be able to get past Wes here down the straight. Pulls to the outside. Wes tries to defend the inside line. That's a futile attempt, and Jordan there up into P6 around the outside. Does that one beautifully there. Now he can try and chase down Clen, who's going to also have the DRS on him as well, just up ahead, and some slipstream down this next straight. But I reckon he's probably just a little bit too far back here to make a move into turn 3. But Jordan's made some seamless progress here through the pack in his opening few laps on the hard tyres. At this point in the stint, you'd still expect the medium to be the quicker tyre, so Jordan's done really well to make the headway that he has. As a bit of a lock up there from Clen. He'll be feeling the pressure right now as Jordan looking to ramp it up on him a little bit here. And Clen really slidey. It's a similar story to what we saw earlier on. I was commentating on a league called Misfits earlier on. Clen actually won the race, but his car was sliding all over the place. And when you're running in clean air like he was, it's not as much of an issue. But when you're in a pack, or if you're like not leading, it can be very troublesome. But it looks like we have got a safety car. So for some reason the safety car's been deployed. It's not clear as to why, but Dave's got a drive through for speeding, and safety car will be coming out. So for those who started on the mediums, it's probably gone quite well, because they can probably come in and, I would have thought, maybe get the hards to the end from here. It's got to be doable at this point, because by the time the safety car wraps up, we'd have probably 18 or 19 racing laps. So if they go easy on the hard tyres from here, you could potentially get them to the end. This really hasn't worked out very well for Jordan Hillier at all, but he might be able to take the lead if he stays out. Be quite close. And seeing as in 4 laps, the delta won't be that bad. So he might be able to nav track position here, Jordan Hillier. Now what does he do? Surely he's got to stay out and go for track position, surely. No, he doesn't, he comes in. So Shane into the box, Blazer Guns, Joe Louis Salates, Glenn, Jordan, Wes, they're all in. Mihai also in. Apex Joe and Richie Chapper staying out on the hard tyres. Now where are these guys going to come out? Are they going to be in front? I think they are, yeah. So Apex Joe and Richie Chapper will be no, Shane's already come out. So Shane has come out and retained the lead. So Shane and Apex Joe, Apex Joe and Richie, even the two who didn't pit. Looks like Berzer's also in, so is Dave, CT Sori, Jacko's in. Andrew Pittsmith will surely be in to get those medium tyres off. There's no advantage whatsoever to stay out on those. Zainu as well. And Abubakar here, who's put the hard tyres on already and will rejoin the train in 18th place here. But Shane having a field day out there. Fresh medium tyres, still the lead of the race. Life's good if you're Shane tonight. Long way to go here in this Azerbaijan Grand Prix here tonight, but Shane's looking very good, although the smallest little lapse of concentration around this track is very heavily punished. As we've seen before through that castle section, Ocean Blade, moments after taking the lead of the race, crashed out on lap 2. We're not quite sure what the circumstances were, whether there was contact, whether there was an outside influence from another issue that we're not aware of. We don't know, but as far as we can see, Ocean Blade was the only car involved in the incident. Shane seems to have got away scot-free, so presumably Ocean Blade dropped it by himself. And it was a few corners after he took the lead of the race. Made the move into turn 3, and then a few corners later, DNF. So a bit of a strange one. Right, here we go then. Always about to get underway here for the restart here at the end of lap 8. So we're starting lap 9 here at the Talk Titans Racing League Tier 3 here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Oh, pardon me. So we've got Shane here who's going to get us back underway on his fresh medium tyres, which he can't go very long on. But it's going to be interesting now because we've only 18 laps left to go. There's 18 racing laps that some of these hard runners are going to have to do on these tyres, which isn't actually colossal. So is there a possibility now that these guys behind won't have to pit? Obviously Apex and Richie have to, because they have to, not only will they not go the whole race on those tyres, but they also have to do a mandatory stop anyway. But I mean, that's going to be a fascinating one to see, because Shane will need to get on with this and will need to build a gap to try and build himself a spot where he can actually come out into once he makes his pit stop, because he still has this, I mean, he'll have to come in, he won't be able to go to the end on these medium tyres, no chance. But Jordan nonetheless got ahead of Joe Louis up into 7th place. Jordan Hilliam not hanging about here on this restart. Richie Chapper is side by side here with Blazer Guns as they come out of turn 3, and Blazer Guns seems to have made that move up into 3rd place. Wes and Mihai are battling out over 9th and 10th as they're side by side on the exit of the corner. Wes has got that one done up into 9th place by the looks of it. So a couple of position changes there on this restart, but at the moment we've got Apex Joe under pressure here from Blazer Guns. Obviously Blazer Guns on the fresh hard tyres, so is Salate, so is Clen, and in fact all of this pack behind them, Jordan, Joe Louis, Wes, Mihai, Berza and Carl, all of these guys on fresh hard tyres, which are going to be way quicker than the likes of Apex Joe and Richie on those hard tyres which they started their race on. So these guys could be sitting ducks in a moment's time. Shane already building a gap here of 3 seconds. He needs to do that because he's got to pit again at some point in this race. So he needs to take the money and run at the moment. It's Clen. What's happened to Clen? Oh, Clen is plummeting down the leaderboard here. So he's had a moment there going into that final sector, and he's dropped to P12 here. So has he got damage on the car? He must do, surely. He doesn't. So Clen has got away without damage, but he must have had to go down one of the escape roads there. No visible damage there for Clen. He's down to 13th. Oh my goodness me, he must surely have damage there. That understeer was no joke. Is he coming in this time around? There is a car coming into the pits. Not Clen. It's somebody just up ahead there. I think that's Joe Louis. It is. So Joe Louis, I think, has had an incident. Was that an incident that they both had together there? It would make sense because they were both in a similar part of the track. Oh, someone's in the wall there as well. That's Apex Joe who has stacked it on the exit of turn 1. Is that another safety car? Hopefully it isn't. Oh, it is. I think I can see that yellow dot. That dreaded yellow dot. Stand by. Oh, dear. So Shane opting not to come into the pits for some hard tyres. I wonder if Shane's going to try and go to the end on these mediums, because, well, if you think about it, he's only done about 1 racing lap on these tyres. So the safety car comes out until, I don't know. I mean, could be end of lap 13 before we get this back underway. 14 laps on a set of mediums is not easy, but it's not impossible either. I don't know what Shane's planning on doing, but it's going to be fascinating to see. Richie's put a set of mediums on, started on the hards. Apex Joe's done the same. Although Apex Joe we saw binned it coming out of turn 1, which was, I think, I don't know what actually caught. I think it was Joe Louis that caused the safety car, but I remember Apex Joe around that same time also lost the car and was sort of stuck by the side of the road for a little bit. There you go then guys, getting back underway here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here for the Tier 3 of the Talk Titans Racing League. 17 still standing here as we're moments away from the restart. We've had 2 safety cars, obviously we had 3 retirements as well. But here we go, back underway as we come back down towards turn 1 once again. Got Jordan there being passed by Slates, actually. Slates up into 3rd place as Clen's dropped a few places here on this opening start of this restart here. What's happened here to Clen? Clen is down to 17th place. Where is he? He's gone wide. He's gone straight on there going through turn 1, so I'm not quite sure what's happened to him, but he's missing his front right end plate as we go back to Shane and Blazer Guns, who are running into turn 3 at the moment. We've got somebody looking up to the inside there. That was Berza there having a look on Mihai going into turn 3, but was too far away to really figure in anything there. It's a very clean restart here, but Glenn seems to be in real trouble here as he's going through turn 3. He's gone straight on down the slip road. In the meantime, Davis moved ahead of Abubakar up into 13th place. But Glenn is going nowhere fast at the moment. I wonder if we're seconds away from a retirement here. Obviously, we're only a safety car away from him getting back into the race. But is he just going to throw in a towel here? Hopefully not. But nonetheless, Shane has already gapped Blazer Guns by over a second here on those medium tyres, which he's barely done any running on so far. He'll be wanting to just disappear off into the sunset here and try and build a gap so we can pit maybe onto some fresh mediums for the final few laps of the race. But he'll need a bit of a gap to pit into first. I'm sure he'd like to leave himself with not too many cars to have to overtake in the final stint. But at the moment, he's not really pulling away by the amount that I think he would want to be. So I wonder if he might switch his strategy to trying to save the tyres and get them to the end somehow, if that's even possible on the medium tyres, which it may well not be, as Jordan here looking pretty close on the back of Salates, but Salates has still got DRS on the back of Blazer Guns at the moment. As Richie Chapper here looking to make the move, he's got around Dave up into P12 there into turn 1. Sees Anya into the pits here at the end of lap 13. So is Abubakar, and Glenn out of the race there. Glenn has crashed. We've got a safety car. Here we go then, guys, we're moments away from the restart here for this Azerbaijan Grand Prix after the third safety car period of the race. We are about to get back underway here, so Blazer Guns with a penalty on some hard tyres which have done 10 laps, although I think only about 3 of them have been at racing speeds. And he's going to get us underway here. Salates, Jordan, Wes, Mihai and Carl also on the same tyres. Richie Chapper on medium tyres, which haven't done a whole load of racing laps, to be fair. Could potentially get to the end on them. We know he's good on his tyres as Richie Chapper. Dave on hard tyres, and Shane's on fresh hard tyres. But then again, he's not going to have much for Delta. Oh my goodness me! As we see, well, Wes went for a dive up the inside into turn 1. Completely missed his braking point. Ended up going into the side there of, was it Jordan or Mihai? But Jordan currently running in second place here as they come down towards turn 3. Blazer Guns has already got a leader over a second here, which is what he needs here, because with that penalty, he needs a bit of a gap here at the end of the race. Wes is down to 14th place, but we're seeing all the leaders here coming through turn 3 at the moment, as Wes there way back down there towards the back of the pack there at the moment. But Mihai is trying to challenge on the back of Jordan Hillier in his fight for second place. What's Shane doing? Shane's currently in 8th place at the moment, so it's gained 1 place since that restart. Obviously that would have been on Wes, because Wes plummeted down the leaderboard with that first lap annihilation attempt there into T1. But Shane currently trying to well, he'll be wanting to try and make his way through as quickly as possible here, because he's on fresh hard tyres. But the longer he spends in this mid-pack, the longer the more time he's going to lose to the leaders. Thing is, he's got Richie 2 places in front of him, who's also on fresh tyres as well, or fresher tyres than the guys around him. So he needs to try not to lose Richie, his teammate there, just up the road from him. But he needs to dispatch Dave first, as Shane here looking pretty close here on the back of the Aston. Here we come then through the final few corners. On board with Shane as he's using the slipstream to get a little bit closer. As we see Blazer Guns into the pits here. But Shane pulls to the outside, is surely going to make this move here with the better tyres, the better grip. You'd think he'd be able to make the move around the outside. He does get that move done. And Shane there up into 6th place, because Blazer Guns is coming to the pits. Must have had a 10-second penalty, because that penalty that he had has now gone, which means it was due to speeding under the safety car. As Abubakar and Wes are both out of the race, so they've taken each other out. I think they must have done. So we'll find out, because we'll jump on board with CT Sorry, see if we can see the aftermath. But is that, it's not a safety car, thank goodness for that. But let's see if we can try and get a glimpse of where that all went off. Ah, there we go, yep, they both went off into the runoff. They're into turn 2, so they obviously got locked together and straight to the scene of the accident. In the meantime, Jordan Hillier has now been left in the lead of the race, so he's got 3 guys behind him who are all on the same tyres, same age tyre life. 4 places behind him is Richie Chapper, who's on the fresh medium tyres, which may or may not get to the end, and if they do, then they won't be very quick towards the end. And then 5 places behind him, you've got Shane running in P6, who's on fresher hard tyres, but only about 4 lap pressure in terms of the actual race distance that they've done, because a lot of it's been under safety car. So Jordan Hillier's got a great chance here of nicking a win here tonight for the Talk Titans Racing League. But he's got Mihai attacking all over him as they come out of the final corner. So Mihai's probably going to make the move here with a bit of DRS, but these guys have kicked a bit clear of Salates, who's running in 3rd place. So looks like it's between these two for the time being. If they start battling though, that could change very quickly, but Mihai nonetheless makes the move for the lead as they start lap 19 of the race. In the background there you've got Salates and Carl battling it out. Salates for the time being holds on to that one. Shane and Richie still going out for P5 and 6, the 2 Williams teammates. Now what do these guys do here? They've got a bit of a dilemma on their hands, because obviously I'd say that Shane's probably got the more stable chance of winning, because he's got the hard tyres on, which are definitely going to make it to the end. And in fact I think Richie has either let him past or Shane's made the move, but they have swapped around there. So Shane's now running in P5, but Shane obviously the long time leader in this race and has kind of been a bit undone by the safety cars. So you would think if there was any justice, then he would probably have a good chance of winning this race, but at the moment he's running in P5 and he's about 4 seconds off of the lead at this point. And to be fair, Mihai's doing a good job. He's almost gapped Jordan by a second here already over the course of this lap. So Jordan's struggling to keep tabs with the Red Bull at the moment. So late, Carl, Shane, Richie there, a little way behind them as they go through the castle section. Bit of a slide there from Dave as he navigated his way through that tricky part of the circuit. We started with 20 here tonight. We've currently got 14 drivers left in the race at this moment. 40 minutes into my stream, hopefully we don't get to an hour, because then I'll have to start a new stream. Well, it's a recording, so obviously it's a bit different, but yeah, hopefully we don't get to that point, fingers crossed. But anyway, Mihai leading by nearly 2 seconds. Jordan Hillier just over a second ahead of Salates, currently safe from DRS at this moment in time. Carl has got Shane now attacking on him, although he does have DRS on Salates, which is going to help him defend here from Shane. Shane looking to the inside nonetheless into turn 1, a little bit too far away, had a little look, tried to put Carl under a bit of pressure there. I think tried to just distract him a little bit by feigning to send one up the inside, hoping that Carl might maybe slip up and run wide, but he didn't take the bait. As Shane still looking to try and get on with this as he now makes the move there into turn 3, and that's going to be job done down the inside there for Shane, up into 4th place. Now he can focus on getting himself into the podium places as quickly as he can here. Jacko's now got ahead of Dave up into 7th place as well. Is that job done? It is job done there, as Apex Joe also looking to try and knock Dave while he's down potentially here. You've got Zainu and Andrew Pittsmith, as well as Burza waiting in the wings as well, waiting to pounce in this battle for some points. Oh, it's Burza dipping his nose up the inside there, trying to make the move on Andrew Pittsmith, but Andrew Pittsmith just clinging on there for the time being. So that was close there. He looked like he was poking his nose up a part of the track where I don't think it's very conventional to make a move, but who cares really if it's conventional or not. If it works, then you're a hero. If it doesn't, then you're an knobhead. But so far, oh my goodness me, as Burza there tried to make the move up the inside there of Andrew to try and come back at him there. But Mihai's got the gap over 2 seconds over Jordan at the moment. Jordan coming under increasing pressure here from Salates as they come down the start finish straight once again. Salates with DRS and Jordan's in the pits. Why? Oh, Jordan Hillier. I mean, it was some kind of problem. I don't know if he got damaged towards the end of that lap. Can't have been that far from the end of the lap because he was still running in 2nd place. I wonder why. Laser Gun's also in the pits for yet another stop here. So, oh, obviously the last one that he came in for wasn't a pit stop, it was a penalty, wasn't it? But Burza nonetheless moving back ahead of Andrew Pittsmith up into P10. These two chopping and changing positions left, right and centre at the moment. Zainu trying to make the move here around Dave as Dave's trying to squeeze him to the edge of the track there. Zainu's got the inside for the next corner as they're still going to be side by side, and Zainu, he's still not got this done here. Dave's still keeping it around the outside. As they side by side into this next sequence of corners, this is only, well, they can only go one of them through here first, and it's going to be trying to go both of them, and it's not going to work out too well. Bit of contact there between them. They get through unscathed, just about. Dave loses out there to Zainu, and Zainu up into 7th place with that one. But that was so close to catastrophe there between those two. That was that had the potential to be very chaotic indeed there between those two. Gap at the front between Mihai and Shane, just over 2 seconds at the moment. Salates is coming under increasing pressure here from Carl in this fight for 3rd place. But Shane has been cutting his way through this pack like a hot knife through butter throughout this final stint. Obviously was the long time leader and got a bit unlucky with the safety cars, but he's not let that stop him. He's got 9 lap pressure tyres, then Mihai. That's probably actually about 3 lap pressure due to the number of safety cars that we've had in terms of the actual number of racing laps that they've done. But nonetheless, Shane unmistakably with better rubber underneath him, and he's currently closing that gap to Mihai, and Mihai is going to be feeling the pressure a little bit now. Don't know if Mihai's won a race here at TTRL before, but we know Shane's won plenty. As Dave's got ahead of Zainu up into P7. In fact, no, he hasn't. As Zainu's trying to come back up the inside into turn 2. As looks like he's not quite done that one yet. Dave is still keeping himself on the outside here. We'll have DRS to try and power past here as he comes down towards turn 3, and Dave's going to get that one back there up into 7th place. As Berzener still on the back of Andrew. Those two have been going at it now for a number of laps. Zainu back around the outside of Dave here. What a battle this is between these two, and great respect between them as well, giving each other the space to work with and not putting each other in the wall. That's exactly what you want to see. Not putting each other in the wall, that's not what you want to see, but you want to see people not putting each other in the wall. That's what I'm getting at. But yeah, great racing there between those two, as Shane has got ahead of Mihai. So Mihai must have made a mistake there, because the gap was 2 seconds, or 1.7 the last time I looked. That was about less than half a lap ago. So Shane has now taken the lead, has obviously made the most of Mihai putting a wheel somewhere he shouldn't have. Oh, Shane there, massive slide though, as he was trying to, I think, get out of DRS range there to Mihai. He was trying to drop the hammer and make sure he was out of DRS, and now he could be vulnerable here. Mihai could be given a bit of a lifeline. Obviously he's got older tyres, he'll have less grip, but he's going to get the lead back here in a second, and he's got that move done. Or was Shane playing it smart? He was playing it smart. Shane with that 700 IQ move there, letting Mihai to get that one back, so then he could use the DRS to power back past again. So Shane back up into P1 and seems to have got that one done now. I think he's going to make that one stick, as Jordan's moved ahead of Apex Joe up into P11. Obviously Jordan on those fresh medium tyres will be making some headway in these final few laps, but I don't know why Jordan pitted for 6 laps from the end. I really don't. It's bizarre to me why he came into the pits. He was running in 2nd place, had a great chance of a podium, and just pitted himself off of the podium. I mean, unless he just knows something that we don't about the tyres. Maybe he knows the hards aren't going to get to the end, God knows. But nonetheless, he's got ahead of Berzer up into P10 now, and Jordan is flying here at this point. Now he's on the back of Andrew, trying to get up into 9th place as quickly as he possibly can here. He's going to go for a bit of a cutback here. Is he going to send one up the inside? Surely he's got to think about it here, because he's on a bit of a, well, he's not got exactly got lots of laps left to try and get himself back up in the mix here. But Andrew puts me, oh no, and Andrew stacked it into the wall, and Jordan getting caught up in that one. Andrew under pressure there from Jordan has put it in the fence, and Jordan now, I think he's lost any chance of regaining the positions here, because he got damaged there due to Andrew being lodged in the wall in front of him. Jordan had nowhere to go, and I think Jordan's, well, he's definitely got damage on the car now. Let's have a look and see what it is. Oh, it's big damage there. Look, he's missing the whole right front end plate. In fact, the left front has gone as well. He's lost both end plates. I mean, that just defies the laws of physics, doesn't it? I mean, how on earth do you lose both end plates and not lose the front wing? But anyway, Jordan is, what, is he going to come into the pits, or is he just going to stick with it now? He's going to stick with it by the looks of it, with just 3 laps left here in this race. But Shane nonetheless out in front, having done a brilliant comeback here in his final stint. Not quite the dramatic catch and pass that I was hoping for. I thought that it might be about now actually he'd probably be making that move on Mihai, but I think Mihai made a mistake which sped up the process ever so slightly. It was looking like it was a foregone conclusion pretty much since he got up into second place though. I mean, he's had better tyres than the guys in front. He made light work of all the drivers in front of him. Was in 8th place on this restart, just 8 laps ago, but just tore through the pack brilliantly and is on course for yet another win here at the Talk Titans Racing League. I haven't checked the standings for a while, but he must surely be leading the championship with Richie, his teammate, not having the best of the last few weeks, it has to be said. But Shane absolutely flying here tonight and throughout this season so far, as we're approaching the business end of the season really. I mean, this is round 9, so after tonight we've got 4 rounds left of this 13 round season, so it's getting to the crunch point now, and I think he's got to be. I haven't looked at the standings, but I've got to have a look at them after this race so I actually know what I'm talking about, because we're getting to that point in the season where it's very relevant. But nonetheless, Mihai about 2 seconds behind. To be fair, Shane hasn't really extended the gap over the last couple of laps. It's stayed around the same, but he's probably just coasting now, making sure he brings it home in one piece. We know what this Baku circuit's like, as Jordan's got ahead of Dave despite missing 2 of his front end plates. Fair play, mate, fair play. So Jordan here up into 8th place. Just a lap and a half left to go here at Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here tonight at the Talk Titans Racing League for the 3rd tier. As Clen's just left the session. Obviously he retired a while ago, but he's been watching with keen interest until now, clearly. Jacko here closing up onto the back of Salates. This could be a fight. Oh, as I say that, Jacko's he's stacked it there going through the final proper corner, and he's going to lose out here to Richie and Zainu as well as maybe Jordan. Jordan might be able to pick up P7 here. Be a good damage limitation here for Jordan after, in fact he's not ahead of him yet, so yeah, no he is, sorry, he is ahead of him, but Jordan could be vulnerable here because Jacko's got DRS, and obviously Jordan with the damage probably isn't going to be able to fight this one too hard, especially through the corners. So Jacko's on the inside there. In the meantime, we've got Richie Chapper trying to come back at Zainu after Zainu's just overtaking him there down the start finish straight. But Jacko there back up into 7th place. Jordan's not done though. He's going to try and fight this one if he possibly can. Richie Chapper too far back. Zainu's got that one done up into P5. What's Jordan got left to try and throw at Jacko? Not much, because Jacko's got DRS here on Richie Chapper, which is helping him defend. So he's okay there going into turn 3 for the time being. Jordan, I don't think, is going to get a chance to get that position back, I don't think. But in the meantime, the race leader's got just a few corners left to go here tonight. And what a drive it has been from Shane. The safety cars threw everything at him. The stewards, race control, they did their best to thwart this man's charge, but Shane has come through it all brilliantly. Started this final stint in 8th place after the safety car, dropped to 9th after the first corner, and then absolutely tore through the pack, got himself into 2nd place after the first about 4 laps after the restart, and set out after Mihai, and then Mihai with a mistake sped up the process a little bit. I think he'd have caught him anyway. But Shane here through the final few corners here at Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix is going to take round 9 of this 13 round season here for season 3 here for the TTRL tier 3. Up towards the line he comes, and it's going to be an emphatic victory in dominant fashion here from Shane, and nobody could touch him here tonight, and he comes over the line to take a very, very easy victory indeed. Mihai comes over to take 2nd place, Carl over to complete the podium, and it's going to be Salates here to cross the line in 4th place, little way ahead of Zainu, who's going to come over in P5. Richie's going to hold on for 6th, ahead of Jacko. Jordan Hillier over in 8th place. Dave finishes 9th in the end as he crashes it into the wall over the line. Burzo across the line to complete the top 10 ahead of Apex Joe, who comes over in 11th. And Blazer Guns will be the last driver to cross the line here in 12th place. But Shane with a fantastic win here tonight. Really impressive job with what was needed to be a comeback there through the final few laps of the race. Fantastic stuff there from Shane. But thanks to the drivers, thanks to TTRL for having me once again. Always great action, always a pleasure to commentate. And we'll see you for the next one, guys. Take it easy.